What's up, trophy hunters? This is PS4 Trophies, and we're about 3.5 years into the PlayStation 4's life cycle, and I figured now would be a good time to look back and see what has been the most popular platinum trophies that have been earned throughout its incredible run so far. So today, we're going to list the 30 most common platinums you might see on someone's profile. This list of 30 games will be ordered from the lowest number of platinum achievers all the way up to the game with the highest number of platinum trophies handed out. This is basically the all-star team of platinums, as most of these games represent the best-selling games on the platform. Remember, this isn't a list of the easiest platinums. We'll save that for another day. So let's just jump right into it and start with the 30th most popular platinum trophy. And that is The Division, and it kicks off with a 2.3% of its PSN connected players having earned the platinum. The percent comes from what you see on your PS4 trophy screen. This is all players, not just trophy hunters. Now, this is the first of 6 Ubisoft published titles we'll see on this list. Coming in at number 29 is Minecraft. Only 1.2% of its players have earned the platinum, but since this is the most casual game, a game for all ages that appears on this list, it's not too shocking. Based on the percentage of platinum owners, you can also determine that Minecraft is probably twice the numbers of copies sold than The Division, which is amazing considering it's on every single platform. While not an exact science, you'll notice throughout this list that games with a lower percentage often sold more copies. Number 28 is Wolfenstein: The New Order. This machine game's surprising hit no one saw coming has handed out a respectable number of platinums to players. Its high marks with reviewers sent a lot of players out on the hunt for this platinum. Number 27 is Horizon Zero Dawn. This game intrigues me the most. It has 8% of the players earning the platinum. That's an absolutely crazy number for this, and more of a testament about how much the players love this game. For it to be at 8%, that means non-trophy hunters, and we account for about 1 to 4% generally, are beating the game and then going back and doing all the required side quests, doing the hunting ground challenges, and all the miscellaneous tasks. People do not want to stop playing this. This is also by far the newest game on the list, so give it another year, it could actually reach the top 10. Number 26 is the first Telltale game on this list, The Wolf Among Us. Only ask you to complete all of the episodes for the Platinum Trophy. But being at 20.2% means only 1 in 5 players are actually completing all the episodes for some reason. Obviously, this game didn't sell more copies than any on the list under it, but the high percentage of players who have Platinum pushes it right ahead. Number 25 is Uncharted 2: Among Thieves, and it has a 2.2% of its total player population popping that juicy Platinum. This, of course, is the remastered version that came as part of the Nathan Drake collection, a collection where you can get 3 platinums from a single disc. Number 24 is Resogun, and it has a 3.1% platinum percentage, and this is my favorite launch title from the PS4 initial lineup. It ranks on this list for 3 reasons. First, it's a great game and a ton of fun. Second, since it was a launch title, it's been available for the entirety of this generation, and the final reason is because it was the first PS Plus free game, an instant game collection, so everyone that had the paid for Plus has played this game, at least at launch. Number 23, Assassin's Creed Syndicate was the follow-up to the poorly received Assassin's Creed Unity and sits with 2.2% completion. Now, while I personally enjoyed this game, it did force Ubisoft to halt their annual cycle of Creed games. This entry clearly saw a decline in sales, and how do I know that? Well, that's because Assassin's Creed Unity comes in at number 22. How convenient. Now, Unity only saw 1.4% of its players getting the platinum, and the only way more platinum trophies could have been handed out over Syndicate is if there were far more copies of the game being played. So by my estimate, looking only at trophy data, Syndicate saw a 35% drop in sales for the series. Total speculation, of course. Number 21 belongs to one of my favorite PS4 games, Ratchet and Clank. This sees a very respectable 4.9% platinum earning percentage, and this is pretty high because the game is both fun and relatively easy. Thankfully, The game was so much better than the movie. Now remember, this is a remake and not a remaster of the original, and gets my highest recommendation. Number 20 takes us back in time to Far Cry Primal with 4.6% completion. Far Cry Primal was a unique take on the series, and while it may not be as popular as Far Cry 4, it was still fun and fairly easy platinum trophy. Number 19, the original Watch Dogs. This game has produced many platinum trophies for people despite it sitting at 1%. This would be much higher if it weren't for that damn Song Sneak trophy or the now nerfed drinking game trophy. Say what you want about the first Watch Dogs game, it sold a lot of copies if that 1% was able to push the game this far up the list. Number 18 is Battlefield 4, which is tied with another on this list for the lowest platinum percentage at 0.9%. Its low percent is attributed to the numerous number of players who only play online, don't touch the single player, but it is still one of the best selling games on PS4. I know it has a ton of platinum earners firsthand, as my Battlefield 4 collectible guide has over 1.3 million views. Number 17 brings us back to Uncharted, this time Drake's Fortune, which sits at 1.7%. This is the remastered version of the original game as part of the Nathan Drake collection. Now, I've always considered this game the middle of the difficulty curve. I feel like half the games released are easier than Drake's Fortune and half of them are harder. No matter how you grade this game's difficulty, you can't deny the number of trophy hunters who got all 3 platinums from this set of 3 games. Number 16 belongs to Fallout 4, with 2.2% of the players having the frustration of getting a settlement up to 100 happiness. No denying that Fallout 4 sold extremely well, and Fallout 4 represents some of my most successful trophy guides. I'm just hoping that if there is a new Fallout game, it gets a new engine so the game looks and runs better. Need for Speed with 7.3% sits at number 15 and takes us to the halfway point. This is another example of a game that benefits from its high platinum percentage, but that doesn't mean Need for Speed wasn't a success. It was. Now this is only the first of 2 car-based games on this list, and I have a feeling I think you guys know what the other one is. Number 14 is Until Dawn at 3.8%. This is another one of my favorite PS4 exclusive titles. Now maybe Sony didn't market this game very well, but the game sold very well, and with a 3.8 platinum completion percentage, that's actually very high considering that it requires you to play through the game at least twice. Once without getting anyone killed, and once for killing everyone. Not the easiest thing to do if you aren't prepared for it, which is probably why my guide for that has 1.7 million views. Number 13, Destiny at 1.6%. Now it's something I would never have thought possible. When the game first came out, you had to do the impossible task of completing a raid without anyone in your party dying. A task much easier with the higher level caps and gear since the original came out. Now the numbers on this game are a little misleading, as PlayStation combines the PS3, PS4 platinums, even though it has separate trophy lists. Number 12, Uncharted 4, A Thieves' End. Now this ties Battlefield 4 with the rarest platinum trophy percent at 0.9%, due mostly to its 193 collectibles that you must find and its mainstream appeal to all non-trophy hunter PlayStation owners. Now, because of the absurd popularity of this series, enough trophy hunters have come out to make this the 12th most common platinum. Number 11, Life is Strange, and it has another high percentage rate, sitting at 9.3%. This is another episodic game, but for once, it's not a Telltale game. This Square Enix game only requires you to take a series of optional photos, so it's not a gimme like Telltale games, but it is a really good game with a really easy platinum. Speaking of Telltale, Telltale's Game of Thrones cracks the top 10. No doubt this platinum is common because of the popularity of the television show and because all you need to do is complete it. Now the interesting part is that it's only earned by 16.4%, which tells me that there's a larger drop-off of players reaching the end than any of the other Telltale games on this list. Number 9 is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor at 3.4%. Now, I wasn't aware of how popular this game was, and it's certainly obvious to me now why there's a sequel coming. I also had no idea how common this platinum would be. The fact that I haven't played this game apparently is an error on my part, an error I will eventually correct. Heading back to the point-and-click adventure games is number 8, Tales from the Borderlands, another Telltale game that is going to get a massive boost due to the number of platinum trophies for this game because it's free for PlayStation Plus at the time of this recording. This also gets a boost due to the fact that you can get 2 platinums, one from the disc version and one from the digital download, which kind of cheats the system a little bit. Number 7 is the final and most common Telltale Platinum trophy. This is the first season of The Walking Dead. It has a ridiculously high 47.7% completion percentage because the entire season was released at once instead of episodic. Without the player drop-off between episodes like normal Telltale games, this holds a record for most Platinum trophies earned in any point-and-click game. Far Cry 4 is number 6, sitting at 2.4%. Almost twice as hard to achieve the Platinum than Far Cry Primal, it does have a higher Metacritic score and far more copies sold since it came out 14 months earlier, which makes this Far Cry Platinum far more common. Just another example of how a more difficult game can have a more common Platinum. Number 5, Infamous First Light at 4.7%. Now this game's a common Platinum because it's completely due to the fact that this was a huge free PlayStation Plus game. It was standalone DLC to Second Son, one of the PS4's first big exclusive titles. Now at the time of this release, it was considered one of the easiest available Platinums to earn on the young system, coupled with the fact that you could earn it within a day. Number 4, the 1886, which sits at 6.4%. The Order 1886 was a massively hyped game prior to its release that failed to deliver on the hype. Say what you want about this game, but it is one of the easiest Platinum trophies when it was released. You just needed to find the relatively easy collectibles to get the common Platinum. The game found some life when it received a price cut early, and it wasn't uncommon to see the game listed at 75% off, at which point trophy hunters jumped all over it. The low percent at 6.4% is proof that the masses won't platinum a game if it's not good, and I'll prove that with number 3, which is Bloodborne. At 7.1%, the percentage of players who platinum Bloodborne completely shocks me. The game is no doubt the easiest Souls type game, but I would have thought that many more people would have been turned off by it and not finished it. Bloodborne was a massive hit for PlayStation as an exclusive, and very good sales of the game combined with the higher platinum percentage makes this, shocking to me, a very common platinum trophy. The fact that more people, both in total players and percent, platinum this more than the Order 1886 shows me just how good this game was. Number 2 is Rocket League at 4.8%. The biggest surprise here is that it wasn't number 1. The game's trophies were fairly simple, with the most difficult ones coming naturally if you just played the game long enough. It didn't hurt that this game was extremely fun and was free for an entire month with PlayStation Plus. Most people claim that this is the best game that was ever part of the Instant Game Collection, and I don't disagree. Now, the most common Platinum trophy on PS4 is Infamous Second Son. This is almost exclusively because it was a launch window title. It didn't arrive launch day, but it was within the launch window and the first highly anticipated game on the new console. Infamous has always been a popular franchise, and the fact that it's an easy platinum and has been on the market longer than almost every other title on this list makes it obvious that this would be the highest achieved platinum trophy on PS4. Hope you guys enjoyed the top 30 list here of the most common platinum trophies on PS4. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.